The wireless access point, WAP, acts as the central connecting device for the network. But now, one of the advantages is that the network can consist of more types of devices, including smartphones, PDAs, tablet computers, and laptops. Of course, PCs and laptops equipped with the wireless network adapters will be able to connect to this network as well. Lesson 1, Understanding Local Area Networking. Wireless networks and wired networks can coexist. In small networks, a single device can act as a wireless access point, switch, router, and firewall. However, larger networks usually have one or more separate wireless access points that connect in a wired fashion to a network switch. And wireless access points have a limited range. Therefore, you might need to implement multiple WAPs depending on the size of the building and the area you want to cover. More information about wired and wireless networks, refer to lesson 3. Certification ready. What is the VLAN? Objective 1.2. There is another type of LAN, the virtual LAN. A virtual LAN, VLAN, is a group of hosts with a common set of requirements that communicate as if they were connected together in the normal fashion on one switch, regardless of their physical location. A VLAN is implemented to segment the network, reduce collisions, organize the network, boost performance, and increase security. Usually switches control the VLAN, like subnetting. A VLAN compartmentalizes the network and can isolate traffic, but unlike subnetting, a VLAN can be set up in a physical manner. An example of this is the port-based VLAN, as is shown in figure 1.17. In this example, each set of computers, such as Classroom 2, has its own VLAN, which is dedicated to the 192.168.2.0 network in this case. However, computers in that VLAN can be located anywhere on the physical network. As another example, computers within the VLAN staff could be located in several physical areas in the building, but regardless of where they are located, they are associated with the staff virtual LAN because of the physical port they connect to. There are also logical types of VLANs, like the protocol-based VLAN and the MAC address-based VLAN, but by far the most common is the port-based VLAN. The most common standard associated with VLAN is IEEE 802.1q, which modifies Ethernet frames by tagging them with appropriate VLAN information, based on which VLAN the Ethernet frame should be directed to. Examining local area networks, devices, and data transfer. Figure 1.17, example of a VLAN. VLAN switch. Classroom 1, 192.168.1.0. Classroom 2, 192.168.2. Classroom 3, 192.168.3. Library 192.168.4. Staff 192.168.100.0. Getting to know perimeter networks. Perimeter networks are small networks that usually consist of only a few servers, which have some form to access the internet. Generally, the term perimeter network is synonymous with DMZ. You should be able to identify DMZ and its purpose in an organization, as well as learn how to implement the basic DMZ. Certification ready. Can you describe the various security zones? Objective 1.2. A perimeter network, also known as the demilitarized zone, DMZ, is a small network that is set up separately from a company's private local area network and the internet. It is called the perimeter network because it is usually on the edge of the LAN. But demilitarized has become a much more popular term. The DMZ allows users outside of the company LAN to use specific services located in the DMZ. However, when set up properly, those users are blocked from giving access to the company LAN. Users on the LAN will quite often connect to the DMZ as well, but without having to worry about outside attackers. Lesson 1. Understanding local area networking. Achieving access to the private LAN, DMZ might house a switch with servers connected to it that offer web, email, and other services. Two common configurations of the DMZ include back-to-back configuration. This configuration has a DMZ situated in between two firewall devices, which could be black box appliances. An illustration of this is shown in figure 1.18. In this configuration, an attacker would have to get through the two firewalls in order to achieve access to the LAN. Figure 1.18, a back-to-back DMZ configuration. Internet, LAN, email, web, firewall, LAN. 3-lag parameter configuration. In this scenario, the DMZ used is usually attached to a separate connection of the company firewall. So the firewall would have 3 connections, one to the company LAN, one to the DMZ, and one to the internet, as shown in figure 1.19. Once again, this could be done with the firewall appliance or server. In this configuration, an attacker would only need to break through one firewall to achieve access to the LAN. Although this is a disadvantage, technologies like network intrusion detection and prevention systems can help alleviate most security issues. Also, one firewall means less administration. 3-lag parameter DMZ configuration, figure 1.19, Internet, firewall, LAN, DMZ, web, mail. Identifying network topologies and standards. Networks need to be situated in some way to facilitate the transfer of data. Topologies are the physical orientations of computers in the LAN. Access methods are ways that the computer will send data. The most common of these is the client-server-based Ethernet network configuration, although there are others. In order to build a LAN, you must first plan out what topology or topologies will be used and what type of access methods will be implemented. Access methods tend to be not so clear and definite, so let's begin with discussing network topologies. Identifying network topologies. Network topologies define the physical connections of hosts in the computer network. There are several types of physical topologies, including bus, ring, star, mesh, and tree. For the exam, you should know the star, ring, and mesh technologies were thrown in the tree topology, known as hierarchical star, for good measure and as well because it is considered by many. In this exercise, you will examine the following physical topologies. Can you describe network topologies and access methods? Objective 1.5. Star, mesh, ring. By far, the most common topology is the star topology. When a star topology is used, each computer is individually wired to a central connecting device. A twisted pair cabling. The central connecting device could be a hub, a switch, or a Soho router. So, this is the type of topology you will usually use when implementing networks. Identify topologies. To identify topologies, perform the following steps. Examine figure 1.20. This illustrates a simple star topology. Note that it is like figures 1.2 and 1.2 earlier in this lesson. Indeed, those other figures also illustrate star topologies. Note that the hub in the center of the figure connects each computer by a single cable. This way, if one cable is disconnected, the rest of the network can still function. This is the standard physical topology for an Ethernet network. Figure 1.20, illustration of a star topology. Star topology, identifying network topologies and standards. Point 2. Examine your own computer network. Check to see if it meets the characteristics of the star. Namely, is each computer connected to a central connecting device? Are they individually cable to that device? And add to your network documentation the fact that it is a star if you identify it as such. In the old days, we had what was known as the bus topology. This is now deprecated. This is the topology for a local area network, LAN, in which all the nodes are connected to a single cable. The cable is called the backbone. If that backbone becomes broken, then the entire segment fails. But topologies are relatively easy to install and don't require much cabling compared to the alternatives. However, part of this idea was passed on to star topology. For example, two individual star networks can be connected by the central connecting device to create the star bus topology. This is done by daisy chaining or stacking one or more hubs or switches, usually by a specific special medium dependent interface MDI port. This is where the bus part of the star bus topology comes in. Moreover, you will learn more about MDI ports in lesson 3. The problem with the star bus topology is that it is based on a stacking concept. This can pose organizational problems and is not the best use of bandwidth. A better solution in most scenarios is to use the hierarchical star shown in figure 1.3 earlier in this lesson. In the mesh topology, every computer connects to every other computer. No central connecting device is needed. As you guess, a true or full mesh requires a lot of connections. As is illustrated in Figure 1.21, examine the figure and calculate how many connections would be needed at each computer to ensure a full mesh configuration. Figure 1.21, illustration of a mesh topology. Lesson 1, understanding local area networking.